morning, everybody. It is Friday, January 9th. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome, everybody. My vlog is open to anyone who wants to come watch, catch up with me, see what I'm working on in my knitting. Before we get too far into things, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on how you can reach me and how you can join me in some fun. So I am BobbleHeadKnits at gmail.com if you want to email me. I'm also BobbleHeadKnits on Ravelry. I do not do social media otherwise, so those are the two ways to reach me. Why those two things are important is because right now, Mandy Vaughn at Diary of a Sweater Knitter / Mandy Vaughn Knits, she and I are hosting a year-long make-along. The name of the name of the make-along is Yarnstash Smash 2026, and we both have forums set up, or chats on our Ravelry channels and our Ravelry accounts, and you can post finished objects, you can chat about what you're knitting, and we are going to be giving away quarterly prizes. It's open to anyone, and we will also take entries via email. Just let us know if you're okay with us posting the photos that you send us to Ravelry. At the very least, we would post your name onto Ravelry to say that you did finish something. Just helps us with when we go to do the quarterly drawings. You're already in there. So we've already got a lot of entries, so we're both really excited about it, and we hope everyone joins us. So basically the rules are whatever you enter has to be knit, or has to be cast on, and use yarn from your stash. Pretty basic, right? Doesn't require a whole lot. I should not just say yarn though, because this is open to any type of fiber. So if you're a spinner, you know, you can do that. Whatever stash you have fiber wise, put it to use. If you have another stash, I don't want to know about it. Okay. All right, let's move along. I have been busy knitting, and I do not have finished objects, but that's okay because, you know, every week we do not have finished objects. It just doesn't happen that way. All right. So let's talk about all the whips I have. And yeah, I think that's it. I do have a few new cast-ons that I cast on last week, and I'll show you what they are. And I'm going to cast on a few more things this week. And I'm not officially doing Ange's yarn, the 12 cast-ons. She is at Yarn and Yarns, and she is doing 12 cast-ons in January. She's doing her own make-along. I can officially do it if I want, and I probably will, but I'm not doing 12 cast-ons. I have no idea how many I'm going to cast on, what I'm going to get done, all that. I'm just knitting for fun, right, and joy, and in my case, it brings me great peace. So there you go. All right, let's jump into it. So first of all, last week I tried to show you my daughter-in-law's snowbird cardigan. Now this is a knit that I cast on in August, found out. And I was going to do it as a Christmas gift, and then I was like, realistically, I'm not going to get it done. So I moved it to her birthday, which was only bought me about 5 days, because her birthday is right after Christmas. So I have just told her it will get done sometime this year. Just vague about it. All right, but here it is. Last week I was working on sleeve number 1, and I do have sleeve number 1 done. There it is. If you are wondering, something on there, hold on. This is reverse stockinette. The whole thing is basically garter stitch. And so I knit the first sleeve and purled it the whole way. I'm happy with it. This is actually technically the second sleeve I've knit, because I knit a whole sleeve and then was like, I don't like it because I stitched it up by hand. So I ripped the whole sweater out, I cast it back on, and now I'm just knitting it the way I want to knit. So there's sleeve number 1. I do have, if you look closely here, I have this little ball dangling. They have you keep the needles on for the back and the body, and to keep the yarn attached. And I was getting tangled up, so I put the yarn, I made a little ball, I clipped it. I don't know if you can see, but there is a big clip here holding some live stitches, and then I used a little clip, you can't really tell, there's a little clip, to then clip the ball of yarn to it because I was tired of getting tangled. So those stitch markers are to tell me where the decreases are, and as I work on the second sleeve, I'm moving them over. I did cast on the second sleeve, and here it is. I've started it. I'm not finished, obviously, but I feel like this sleeve could be done in the next week. And then I'm on to the body, which so far for the body, I really only have the yoke. So it's gonna be beautiful. This is, as I said, the Snowbird cardigan by Heidi Kiermar. The yarn is, what is, Malabrigo Rios. I'm looking down here at my iPad. Malabrigo Rios in the colorway Scorpio. It is beautiful. It's like a super deep blue with some gray and burgundies and purples mixed in. It's just gorgeous. So super soft, love it. And yes, I've got needles everywhere. I've got, yeah. Okay. Hold on, let me stick it back in here. It is living in my bag from my friend Amber at Ambi Marie Knits. She will make you a custom bag. You just have to reach out to her. There's my bag. It's beautiful. Love it. This is all Tula pink fabric, and the best thing about this bag is as the sweater grows, the bag will grow with me because the inside has another layer. There it is. So it will get bigger. So hopefully it will be getting bigger soon. All right. The sweater, as I said, is cardigan. I cast it in August of 2025. So will I get it done in the spring of 2026? Who knows? No promises, right? I'd like to, though. I'd like her to be able to wear it at least once this winter. So, all right, speaking of winter, I live in Denver, for those of you who know, and we finally got some snow overnight, and it's sticking, and the roads are a little icy. It's not a huge amount. It's maybe, I'm just looking out there, maybe a few inches, but it gave me a reason to wear my Pierre pullover by Stephen West that I knit a few years ago. I cannot remember the yarn, but love this sweater. I wish I'd made it a little bit longer, but otherwise love it. Feel like it fits me really well, other than the length, but that was on me. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. Sorry to get distracted. It's just kind of what happens here, right? All right, I am, even though it's really cold out, I'm drinking iced coffee, a latte made with oat milk and toffee nut syrup. It's really good, actually. So I made it at home. All right, now that I've chased down and gone down a different rabbit hole, let's move on to the next whip in my pile here. All right, last week, hold on here. Last week I had started a scrappy project. It's the Swatchtastic by Tin Can Knits. It is a bunting. It's bunting, and she just using scrap yarn. I made one little flag. There it is, and I love it. I made it bigger than the pattern called for because I wanted bigger flags. I did not want little dinky ones, so I just kept knitting, basically. Super easy, good way to use up some stash. I have in my Boston Terrier bag I have a bunch of little minis and just scrap yarn that I'm going to continue knitting these on. I've cast on, there's three different, I want to say 3 different patterns when you get that pattern, which I think, don't quote me on it, but I think it was a free pattern. You get, you can choose from 3 different patterns for your bunting. So I'm going to do a combination of stockinette, straight stockinette, garter stitch, which the second one I've cast on very little, look how tiny it is, garter stitch, and then a lace one. So I'm just changing it up as we go. And it's a way to use up some stash, and I'm just kind of, whenever I feel like it, knitting one. So far I've only felt like knitting one. That's okay. I want to make at least 2 bunting strings, because this window behind you and the one back there, they both, when we moved in, they both had curtain rods and blinds, and we used the blinds, but I never put curtains up. But they're beautiful curtain rods, and I thought, wouldn't that be neat to just do some bunting up there, because this is my office / craft room, so it would be just a good use and a good decoration. So I'm gonna continue making these. I don't know how many, I keep thinking I should really measure it. Eventually I will. I'm just gonna make a bunch of these and then figure out as I go along, like how many I really need, and then how best to attach them, what to attach them to. I was thinking of knitting I was showing you the wrong side. I was thinking of knitting an I-cord and then attaching it. I might do that, we'll see. I know some of them, not this pattern, but some of them have little like holes, yarn over, so you could string either ribbon or something through them to make it work, or you can use little tiny clothesline pins. I actually have some of those from a baby shower, so I might use those, honestly. It would use those up, so yeah. So we'll see. It's fun. This is some mustache yarn scraps that I have, and I actually have more of that, and I may actually make some more in that particular yarn. We'll kind of see as we go what I end up with. This particular one took 7 grams of yarn. So not a huge amount, but you know, 7 grams out is 7 grams out, right? Okay. All right. I'm gonna just kind of, well, no, I'll just put it over here. Sorry. All right, next up, I have, hold on. I got a couple bags here I'm gonna pull up. Let's start with the one that I am a bit obsessed with, honest to God. This is the Vanilla Bean Sock by Kay Linton, who is the Crazy Sock Lady on YouTube. I am loving this pattern. Look how much I've already got. I'm working on the cuff. I just started, not the cuff, just started the heel on this. So this is toe down, or cuff down. There it is. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the pattern there. It is such a simple little pattern, but very relaxing, easy to do. I knit this whole thing like in a day, which is, for some of you can knit a sock in a day. I can't, but yeah, I just sat there and knit away. So yes, very happy with it. The yarn is Chromatic Yarns Arcane Gate is the colorway. This was it was the 2023 advent from Chromatic Yarns, and she did a few advents that year. One was you could do 4 sock sets, and like you were meant to open them once a week and through December, and that was the one, well, I bought all of her advents, but that was the one that I knit this with. And the set that I picked first is this one, and there is sparkles, as you can see, hopefully. And I'm not a huge fan. The yarn's like really like splitty, but it knits up beautifully. So if you get over the fact that you know, you have to be extra careful with it, but it is gorgeous. So I was thinking of doing these as a gift, but then I made a mistake here, and I don't know if you can tell, and I didn't notice till later. Do you see that little loop right here? That's a loop. I accidentally, I don't know what I did there. Well, I know what it is. It's the cast on edge, and I think what I did is I used it for some stitches. I don't want to just cut it, because if I did use it for stitches, it could like cause the sock to unravel. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I didn't notice it till I was like well into the leg of the sock, so I need to decide if I cut it, like I risk ruining the whole sock. But if I just leave it there and I keep the sock, no one will know, right? So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll cut it and see, and if it doesn't unravel, I'll give it to someone, but otherwise keep the sock for me. So I do plan on using the other skeins. In fact, one of my goals for 2026 was to use all my lingering Advent yarn. So I will be knitting with the other colors that I got and some other yarn. So it's not like I couldn't knit another pair of these to give away. We'll see. But yes, I highly recommend the pattern. Inexpensive pattern, very well written, easy to follow, you know, all the things. All right. So that is 56 stitches, which is what I wear, and I figure if I'm going to knit a sock, I'm going to knit it in my size unless it's for my husband. And if I decide I want to give it away, if you don't have that size foot, well, but most of the people I give my socks to are, they can wear the same size I do, so 56 stitches is it. I am doing cuff down, which I usually do toe up. I just was kind of getting tired of toe up, so I thought, try cuff down. All right. All right. Oh, I said I was going to put these down here. All right, next sock. This was another cast on from last week. And this was a knit with my Wool Addicts footprint yarn that I bought in Brighton in the UK in 2023, July 2023. And I log all these things in Ravelry, so that's how I know when I bought them or when they entered my stash. So here's the yarn. It is a cotton blend, which I did not realize till I started knitting with it. It's cotton, wool, and nylon. It's really nice. And I actually cast this on thinking, oh, well, that's gonna probably be a gift for someone. And then I started knitting with it. It's like, oh no, these are staying with me. Because the yarn is, and the color, the feel, everything's perfect. So these are toe up. I'm just doing a vanilla toe up sock. There it is. I'm almost to the point where I'm ready to do the heel. So I'm very happy with it. And you'll notice I've only cast on one sock. Usually I do two at a time, but I just decided just do one of each. So I actually have an extra needle, that sock needle that's not being used. So I'm going to cast on another pair of socks that will do the lucky dip bag. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. All right, very highly recommend this yarn, cotton blend, but it's a beautiful, just a beautiful yarn. And I love all those colors, so yeah. And I should have the heel done and be working on the foot, or I mean the leg next week. It is living in my Woolens and Nosh Advent bag, which I bought her sock Advent in 2025. I knitted up and got this cute little bag out of it. So I see that she is back she took off December, and she's offering all kinds of like sock clubs and all that, or I shouldn't say sock club, I'm not sure what they are, but basically she got yarn on her shop now. I am not going to give in and buy any though. I am doing a low buy year. I am doing a low buy, only buy yarn if it's to finish a project or if I'm traveling, and yes, I will be traveling this year, and I'll tell you eventually where I'm going. And when I tell you, you're going to be like, oh, you're coming home with a lot of yarn. Yeah. All right, next up. Okay, did that. Okay, I think okay, I did not bring my blanket in here. Last week I showed you all the incredible blanket, which has been on my needles for a few years. I said I was going to work on fixing it and decide either to frog it or finish it. I am leaning towards finishing it. I have not made a lot of progress on it though. Made some, but I did learn. Mandy told me this. Mandy at Mandy Von Knits, because I was really struggling to fix it. Frankly, I still am struggling to fix it. But Mandy was digging around trying to help me figure out how to fix it. And she pointed out that it's considered brioche tuck, which is a type of brioche done with machine knitting. So to me, I'm just like, no wonder I'm struggling. I can barely do regular brioche. But on my list of 2026 makes was to do a brioche project. So if I can get this one back, like, I mean, it may not be perfect, but get it back in the rotation, then it would count towards my brioche project for 2026, because it is brioche tuck. It comes up with these things, right? All right. You know what really annoyed me though is this pattern is from Pearl Soho. Nowhere do they mention brioche on the pattern on their website. If I had known, I would not have started it, but now I'm, I'm in, so yeah. Okay, more coffee. All right, so sorry I didn't bring it. It's, sorry, it's still like early stages of being fixed, so you're not missing much. All right, I talked to you about the Ravelry page for our website, but I was just reminded, we also have the Ravelry page for our website. No. Okay, the Ravelry page for our make-along. We also have a web page. Mandy created a web page for it. So if you want all the rules, sorry this is so scattered, but yeah. If you want all the rules, go to yarnstashsmash.com. They're also on our Ravelry pages, but there's a separate place just too. And I'll probably put it down in my notes and just keep it down there so you all can refer back to it often. All right, let's go on to new cast-ons, new for this week. I have two that I want to cast on. First of all, as I mentioned, I have an extra needle for sock knitting. So I've decided that I want to cast on another sock, and I have a whole bunch of things I need to cast on this month, but there's no reason, like, you can always use more socks, right? Out of all the yarn bags that I did Lucky Dip last week, I did not do it out of my favorite yarn bag, the alpaca bag. And this one has all my self-striping yarn. So I'm gonna do a quick reach in there, see what I pull out, and that will be one of my cast-ons for this weekend. And next week you'll see it on the needles. All right, so let's reach. This thing is bursting, and I'm gonna reach far down because if I reach at the top, yeah. All right, here it is, here I come, ready. Ooh, this will be fun. This is West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply. The colorway is Rum Paradise. I believe that I got this, oh God, probably in 2023 also. So it's been in my stash for a few years, I think. I'll double check when I cast it on, but yes, here it is. And this is a good one for me to cast on. I really like it. All right. All right, so that will be on the needles. Sorry for the crinkling. That will be on the needles by next week. Now, let me show you what I am doing. Hang on, put that right there. What I am doing for my next other cast on. My next cast on. All right, now this one, I have said for years I'm going to knit it. Last week I showed you the yarn for it. then I changed my mind on the yarn, so it's slightly different, but I want to get it cast on. And today, because it is snowy, might be a good day to do that and to make some progress on it. So this is the Halibut Sweater by Caitlin Hunter, and I am using, this is yarn from an alpaca in Scotland, and I bought it when we were in Scotland a few years ago. I don't have the date, but I'll add it to my notes for next week. So this will be the fish, the halibut. And I realized I only need one skein of this. So the other skeins I put back in my yarn stash, and I'll use this for something else. Originally last week when I showed you this, I showed you a green Rowan yarn, and I really was leaning towards, well, I said I was going to use it. That was the yarn that I bought. Then when I was looking closely at the pattern, I was like, ugh, it's going to take one more skein of yarn than I have for the body, for the main color. So I had 4 of the greens. I really needed 5. So rather than go run out and buy the 5th skein, which is I probably could have done, I went back to my stash and I had the same yarn but in a different color, and actually this yarn will look better. So I have picked this one. Hang on, let me see if I can find the label in here, and I'll try to give you a color number. There it is. Hold on. It's Rowan Mordell. It is a wool alpaca blend. 70% wool, 30% alpaca, and it does not, no clue what the color is. Oh wait, yeah, no clue what the color is. But these two together, that's gonna be beautiful. So I think these actually work better together. So, all right, so I'm gonna cast those on today. I'm gonna get my needles out, and it is living in this bag that my sister got me for Christmas. She got me this huge, and this bag is huge, it really is. She knows I like a good canvas bag. She got this at, well, I can't remember the name of it. It's a yarn store in Redondo Beach, California. Adieu, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. All right. And yeah, so those are the 2 cast-ons I'm going to do today. And since it is cold and snowy, I don't plan on going anywhere today, so I should get good progress. All right, so in case you're wondering, as I cast these things on, it's because I'm a slow knitter, some of these things are just gonna be in a rotation, so I may not get done with them for months, but that's okay because they're at least cast on. They're all stash yarn too, remember that. I still have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more planned cast-ons that I had outlined last week that I will cast on the next few weeks. So yeah, all right. Other knitting news, I got none. I didn't buy any yarn, yay me. All right, I think that's it pretty much. Let's go ahead and switch to life stuff. If you're not hanging around with me, I get that. If you would be so kind as to like and subscribe, that would do wonders. Don't forget, by the way, to enter our year-long make-along. Use your stash. It's the Yarn Stash Smash 2026. Information on yarnstashsmash.com or my Ravelry page or Mandy's Ravelry page. I'm also going to put the information in the show notes. And I think that's it. All right, moving along. Let's talk about life. Nothing too big happened. Just kind of worked all week. I'm kind of overworking. I'll be honest with you, I have 2 years until retirement and I'm counting down the seconds, let me tell you. I really am. And there are days I'm like, I can't do another 2 years. I need to quit now. I've told my husband, don't be surprised if I just up and quit one day. So he knows that's a possibility. Yeah, I'm over it. All right, other than that, not much going on. We're gonna go out tonight for pho We haven't had pho in a while, but we live in a neighborhood where there are a ton of great pho places, so we're gonna go do that. Tomorrow, gotta take a dog to a groomer, and we're gonna go, the King Arthur Flower Company has a pop-up shop here in Denver, and we went a few weeks ago, and we bought a bunch of stuff, and we were like, apparently it's supposed to close like in the next few weeks, so we're like, let's go back and buy more stuff. Yeah. It's mainly like, they have all kinds of baking things, they have all their mixes, all their flours, all that. But yeah, I was like, we might as well go back and get some more of those mixes, because otherwise, like, we have to pay for shipping if we order it online. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. And otherwise, not a whole lot going on. Don't have any, I'm trying to think, do I have anything going on next week? Besides work, no. All right, TV and books. I am reading a number of books, but have not finished them. So I like to talk about them as I finish them. So as I finish them, I'll talk to you. TV, I started that Heated Rivalry on HBO. It's based off a book series, which I didn't read the books, but I heard from a coworker that it was really a good series. So I started watching it last night. And it was really good. Hang on, I'm looking outside. There's a car driving really slowly past my house. Okay. It was just like driving super slow, and the driver's looking at my house. I'm like, do I know you? All right. Anyway, so I started watching that last night. I watched the first 2 episodes. They were pretty good, actually. And it was you know, it's basically these 2 professional hockey players are falling in love, and it's their story, and how, you know, just, it's a love story. Yeah. And I'm enjoying it. It is good. My husband and I are also watching one of the Harlan Coben, I think that's how you say his name. The series is, I think it's called Runaway. Yes, Runaway, that's it, on Netflix. I really like when Netflix turns his books into movies. They're just, or not movies, but series. I've enjoyed them ever since they started doing it, and he's a very prolific author, so there's a lot of them. Yeah, so I'm just, you know, watching that. Are we watching anything else? I think those were the only 2 that I am personally invested in. My husband watches other things, and I'm like, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go, because I have a date with my couch and my knitting, and I need to get those new cast-ons going. So I will check in with everybody next week, and have a great week, and stay safe. I know there's a lot of bad things going on out there on the streets, especially in the US right now. I'm not going to say any more, because probably going to be deported. But yeah, have a good week. Bye.